Hello students, welcome to answer writing program. Today we have taken 3 questions from GS3 Science and Technology portion. As we know, GS3 Science and Technology is having topics such as developments and their applications and effects in everyday life. For today's topic, we have taken particularly achievements of Indian in science and technology, indigenization of technology and development of new technology. So these are the topics through which we have taken question for today. Now, let's have an overview of our questions. So, the first question is about Aditya L1 mission. Recently, India launched Aditya L1 mission, and related to this, we have to discuss about the Lagrange points. The second question is taken from the Hargobind Khurana's contribution in the field of molecular biology. The third question is taken from the topic of Indian scientists and their contribution in the field of space technology. So, let's start our discussion. So let's start with the first question. The first question is saying, what is Aditya L1 mission? What do you understand by Lagrange points? And describe the principle used for setting up these positions, Lagrange positions. Let us try to understand the demand of the question. The question is asking about Aditya L1 mission. So we have to tell them about Aditya L1 mission, what aim and objective this mission want to achieve. And then we have to tell them about the Lagrange points, what the principle these particular points follow, how to find out these points, and how these points are helpful for different space missions. So what is the utility of these points we are having? So we have to write down about it. Let us start with the introduction. Here in these kind of question, you can describe the Aditya L1 mission. So in our introduction, we are going to write down about Aditya L1 mission, what aim and objective this mission want to achieve. Okay, so the Aditya L1 is nothing but India's first solar mission, which is dedicated to study the sun's outermost layer, which is corona. Okay, we are going to see it in detail. So recently, if you have seen the news, India has launched it and it took around 110 days, and recently a few days back it reached to the L1 position. It has been injected into the halo orbit successfully. So it is going to be stay there for an upcoming 5 years, and it is going to study about the corona. So let us just try to understand briefly about this mission. So if you see, this is the sun and this is the core of the sun. The different activities are going there. For example, we know hydrogen converts into the helium. Okay, we have fusion process there. We are not concerned about that at this point of time. Then we have other layers also. Okay, and then the corona. So if we consider different layer, this is the photosphere, this is the chromosphere, and this is the corona. Okay, now this outermost layer corona is very important because different kind of activities are going on here in the corona. For example, if you must have heard about coronal mass ejection. Okay, so these coronal mass ejections are very important to understand because these are having capacity to enter into the interplanetary system. Okay, and if they come to the earth, they enter to the atmosphere of earth, they can disrupt the communication system. That is why we want to study about coronal mass ejection. So if we are able to understand what the different processes are going on into the sun's corona, what different kind of composition it is having, what is plasma, how it is behaving, then we will be well prepared. Okay, we will be well prepared in dealing up the upcoming issues if at all some issue comes up. Also, if you see the photosphere and chromosphere, there are different activities going on. For example, the sunspots are there. So these sunspots are again very special kind of features having. For example, the magnetic field is very strong here and the solar flares coming out of here. So we also want to understand about the solar flare, the solar winds, the different processes involving it, because these all are having impact onto the Earth's atmosphere. So that is the aim and objective of the Aditya L1 mission, so that we can understand the sun outermost layer corona and different activities going on if at all some issue comes up into the future, because as we discussed, it has capability to enter into the interplanetary space. So we want to understand about the sun's outermost layers such as corona, to understand the features and the processes related to it. So this Aditya L1 mission is going to stay there for our upcoming 5 years, and we can also write down about the launching vehicle. So we have launched it with the help of PSLV. It is composed of like 7 payloads, where we have some in situ and ex situ payloads also. So some 3 are in situ, some other are 4 are ex situ. And recently, if you must have heard about the news that we have successfully launched it. So this is something related to the Aditya L1 mission we have written here, and we have written down in our introduction. Now come to the second part of the question, which is about the Lagrange points or positions. Okay, so let us try to understand how it is working, because it is very important for different solar or different kind of missions. So these points or these positions are nothing but in space. These are, if we consider 2 body systems such as Sun Earth system, or we can consider the Earth or Moon system. So these are the position or points in such a way that if a smaller object is placed there, okay, we have positioned right now, we have positioned our Aditya L1 mission into the position of L1 point. So if different points are there, 5 points are there between Earth and Sun, 5 Lagrange points are there, we are going to see it. So if some object is injected there, it tends to stay there. Why? Because the different gravity is working on there. We know the gravity is function of 2 things, the mass and the distance. So if we are able to find out the position between Earth and Sun, 2 body system should be there. So one is Sun, the other one is Earth. And if we are able to find out the position in between in such a way that the gravity, the push and pull of the gravity is providing the centripetal force. Okay, so the centripetal force is equal to the gravity and push-pull provided by these 2 systems, then this object is going to stay there and it is going to move into the halo orbit. So suppose the L1 is there and it is going to move into the halo orbit. Okay, because of the gravity. Okay, the push and pull of the gravity is providing the centripetal force required for this small object to move into it. And the beauty about this particular position is that the spacecraft, whatever satellite or spacecraft we require, it is going to require very less fuel, less fuel consumption is required. So we have seen there are different positions there. So this is the L1 position where Aditya L1 is being positioned. Similarly, we have other positions also where also the gravity is providing the centripetal force. The push and pull of the gravity in 2 body system is providing that kind of centripetal which is required for that to move into the orbit. So this is the L1 position. Now if we see the other position, the other would be L2, which is the behind the Earth. Okay, but this L2 is not as good as L1, because see, this L1 position provides us some of the advantage. That is why we have positioned our Aditya L1 here, because here the continuous availability of sun is there, which means the Aditya L1 mission can continuously see the sun. Because see, if you see other position L2, L3, there are chances that it will get hindered, but here you can see the continuous view of the sun is available. Okay, that is why this position is very important, that L1 position. Now if you see the different position, the other position is L2, which is behind the Earth. Same kind of characteristics through which we have find it out, but we cannot have the continuous watch because this is coming to the far side of the Earth. Now the other position will be L3, which is behind the sun. Okay, and one more important point, the James Webb telescope is positioned to the L2 position. Now we have L3 position. If we want to study which is the far side of the sun, when we want to understand it is positioned behind the sun, so whenever we want to understand the far side of sun, we use this L3 position. So these are the L1, L2, L3 position which is coming in line, and these are comparatively unstable positions because these are working on the delicate function of the gravity, and continuous watch is required for L1, L2, L3 position. Okay, so this is something L1, L2, L3 position. Now talk about L4 and L5. If we make a quadrilateral triangle, so we have understood this. Now understand about L3 and L4 position. Okay, So if we make a quadrilateral triangle between Earth and Sun, so this is Earth, this is Sun, and we are making a quadrilateral triangle. So at the apex of the quadrilateral triangle in both the side, we will find out L4 and L5. So these L4 and L5 are comparatively stable positions. So these are those kind of Lagrange points which are comparatively stable as compared to the L1, L2 and L3. So we have understood 5 points. We have find out how we are able to find out with the help of gravity and how it is providing the centrifugal force. So that is something which we have discussed related to the Lagrange point and the principle. Now come to the body part. So here in body, what you can do, you can just write down the same thing which we have discussed. So we can write down Lagrange points and principal use. So L1 we have find out, for example, Aditya L1 mission we have seen, and continuously watch can be provided because continuously viewing of sun is provided. The L2 position, L3 position, and L2 we have seen James Webb telescope is been positioned, and L3. Then we have discussed L4 and L5 positions, equilateral triangle is been there and often used for space observation. Okay, so equilateral triangles and positions we have seen. So we have seen L1, L3 are unstable, L1, L2, L3 are comparatively unstable because these points need regular and course correction to maintain their position. As we have seen, L4 and L5 are, as compared to L1, L2, L3, much more stable. So this is something which we have discussed with related to the Lagrange points, principle and positions. Now come to the conclusion. Here in conclusion, write down the importance of these points. Why these points are very much important and why Aditya L1 mission is very important. See, Aditya L1 mission holds great importance. We understand because it is able to understand, through it we are able to understand the impact of the sun, impact of coronal mass ejection, impact of the solar flares, solar winds onto the space weather, and if in future if it can interrupt the communication system, we can study about it so that we can be well prepared. Okay, and also it is providing, these points are providing importance in space exploration and enabling our strategic position. So if we want to position our satellites and different observation related missions, we can understand these points in a much more subtle way, in much more informed way. So then we can take our decision related to the positioning of our different satellites and object into the space. So that was our holistic conclusion. Now let us go through the model answer. In the model answer, in introduction, we have provided the introduction of Aditya L1 mission, its aim and objective, and then what we have provided in body, we have provided in our body what are the Lagrange points and principal use as we have discussed, and then we have defined or written about the different points such as L2, L3 or L4, and we have written down why L1, L2, L3 are unstable as compared to the L4 and L5 points, and then we have provided the conclusion. So that was our first question. Now let us discuss our second question, which is saying Hargobind Khurana's contribution to the deciphering of genetic code revolutionized the field of molecular biology. Discuss the scientific contribution of Dr. Khurana's contribution and its significance in advancing our understanding of genetics. Okay, so let us try to understand the demand of the question. It is saying the discovery of genetic codes by Dr. Khurana has provided some of the revolutionized achievement in the field of molecular biology. So we have to discuss about the contribution, what discovery or contribution it owed to the field of molecular biology, and then we have to discuss about the how these inventions or contribution of Dr. Khurana has contributed to the recent development or the development in molecular biology, which is based on the principle or the discovery which he had provided. So we have to write down the contribution, and then we have to write down the significance of those discoveries or those research which has been done by Dr. Khurana. So that is the demand of the question which we have to understand. Okay, now to come to the answer part. Here in introduction, what we can write down, we can provide the context. What is the context? Recently, in the year 2022, the Dr. Khurana 100th birth anniversary was there. Okay, and he was a Nobel Prize winner. Okay, Dr. Khurana was an Indian American biochemist who was born in the year 1922, and he co-shared the 1968 Nobel Prize for the work related to the order of nucleotides in the nucleic acid, which handle the genetic code of the cell and regulate the cell synthesis of protein. So he did a breakthrough research in the field of molecular biology where he discovered or deciphered the code of nucleotides, and also he was able to do the synthesis of the protein, okay, the codon which is responsible for the synthesis of protein. And these research, if you see the field of the genetics today, all the modern technologies or modern discoveries are based on these principles only. That is why Dr. Khurana's contribution is very important. So that is the context related to Dr. Hargobind Khurana. We have dealt with the introduction. Now let's come to the body part. Okay, so here in the body we have to deal with the two things. One is contribution and then other part is related to the significance. So we'll be dealing it with the significance into the second part of the body. Now talk about the contribution. So before starting this, just try to understand what it is. Okay, what are the different discoveries or synthesis he provided in the field of molecular biology. So if you have seen the structure of DNA, this is the double helical structure. We all know about it. This was given by Watson and Crick. Now what Dr. Khurana did, what Dr. Hargobind Khurana did, so see, this is the strands. We know two double helical structure of the DNA we know. Now if we consider one strand, it is made of, this particular strand is made of sugar plus phosphorus. Okay, so this particular strand is made of sugar and phosphorus, and it is having the nitrogenous base. Okay, so these are the nitrogenous base. Okay, and these nitrogenous base may have different kind of composition. For example, ATGC, these get repeated. So suppose this nitrogen base is made of A, then on the opposite side there will be T, that is defined. Okay, and it will be having a hydrogen bond. If there is G, then the other side will be having C and it will be having triple bond. So these are the hydrogen bond. Now if you see the structure of this, and here if similarly on this strand we will be having, maybe we can have T, then on the other side we will be having A. So just try to understand one thing. This strand is based on sugar and phosphorus, and these are the nitrogenous base which is having ATGC kind of composition. So it is getting repeated. Okay, different kind of A, T, C, some kind of, repetition would be there. Now just try to understand one thing. The very important point we have to understand, it was the Dr. Khurana's discovery then, and this particular portion is nothing but a nucleotide. So this is a nucleotide, then it is a nucleotide, and then it is a nucleotide. So if we consider this particular segment, it is nothing but the nucleotide. Okay, this is nothing but the nucleotide. So Dr. Khurana find out this, the order of the nucleotide, which was not available. And if you see all the modern discovery which is happening today with respect to the sequencing of the DNA, with respect to finding out genetic disease, with respect to finding out the coronavirus, the mutation happening in the corona, all those information, all those discoveries are based on this principle only, the order of the nucleotide. See, this is known as nucleotide, this is known as nucleotide. So if we are able to understand the order of the nucleotide, we can decipher all the available information into the DNA, into a gene. Okay, and that was a very breakthrough discovery which is being done by the Dr. Khurana. So he find out the order of the nucleotide in a nucleic acid. So that is first thing which he did. Also try to understand the second important contribution by him was the development of genetic codes. Let us try to understand what genetic codes are. Okay, so we have understood the nucleotides, what it is. Now if we see any three, in sequence, if we see AGT, we have taken AGT, or then we have seen, if after it we may have ATC. Okay, ATC, continuation in continuation. This is nothing but a triplet codon or one code. Every 3 nucleotide is making one code. So this is a code. Similarly, this is a code, and try to understand one code is responsible for producing a specific type of amino acid. Okay, and you know, protein is nothing but the combination of amino acids. So this particular code is responsible for the formation of one particular type of amino acid. Then different kind of codons would be having for forming different kind of amino acid, and the combination of amino acid is nothing, the synthesis of protein. So every human response is based on this thing only. The codon are responsible for the formation of amino acid. The chain of amino acid is causing the formation of the protein synthesis. So he was able to find out the codon, that particular triplet codon related to the different kind of bodies, like different kind of sequencing. He was able to find out the codon which is responsible for the synthesis and formation of the amino acid, which ultimately forming the protein, and based on it you can decipher ultimately everything. So this development of genetic codes is a very important thing which can through which you can find out any kind of disease, any kind of issue. So we are going to see in CRISPR-Cas in upcoming part of the question how this codon revolutionized the field. So this codon is having all the information, because see, try to understand, this codon or this code is a kind of address of all the genetic information stored in a DNA, and through it you can understand each and every functioning of the body, any issue, any kind of disease, which is again a very helpful thing in the molecular biology. So that was his contribution. The other thing which he was able to do was the synthesis of the synthetic gene. As we have seen, this gene is made of three things, okay, three inorganic material. One is sugar, the other one is phosphorus, and the other one is nitrogenous base. So these are organic compounds. So he did the synthesis of the gene with the help of these three things. Very easily he did that, and that is something, through the discovery of the synthetic genes, he was first person into the world to do this kind of synthesis. And the other thing is genetic sequencing. So if you can do the ordering of the nucleotide, you can easily do the DNA sequencing also. These are the important contribution provided by Dr. Hargobind Khurana, which is the basis of the modern genetics which we are using, and revolutionizing things are happening in this field, and which is contributed by Dr. Hargobind Khurana. Now let us come to the second part of the body, which is significance of the Hargobind Khurana's contribution. So the first one is genome editing with CRISPR-Cas9. So how we are doing the genetic editing? See, as we have seen, there is a codon. Okay, there is a codon. It may be ATT. Okay, so if we are able to find out which particular portion is having the defected genes, through CRISPR-Cas we can go there and we can do the editing also. But this is also dependent onto the codon discovery, okay, and the ordering of the sequencing, or the DNA sequencing, which again is the contribution of the Dr. Khurana. So we can go there, we can cut down that particular portion through CRISPR-Cas9. This work as a scissor, and then we can paste it. The part which was defected, we can remove it, and then we can provide the remedy also. So that is CRISPR-Cas. Advancement in modern science. So whatever important developments are happening during corona, also we have seen the development of different vaccines. That was also possible because of the Dr. Hargobind Khurana. How? Let us try to see. See, you must have known about the mRNA vaccine. Okay, how the Moderna made it, how it was possible. See, if you consider a COVID, it has spikes. Okay, it has spikes. So what scientists did, they just took out the spike. This is nothing but the protein. Through protein, they have find out what kind of amino acids are there, and they find out the code. Okay, so through this spike of protein, they have find out the code, and we know it may be made of three kind of nucleotides. Okay, so it might be XYZ. Just let us suppose it was XYZ. Through this protein, we were able to find out the code responsible for the formation of this protein, and through this, we just made it in lab. We did the synthesis, we made the vaccine, and we have injected into the people. Okay, the vaccine was made on the basically discovery of the code through the protein, and then we have injected into the people. So that is the breakthrough invention which is the basis of each and every new discovery happening in the field. So development of the vaccine during 19, you can see this Moderna vaccine was based on this only. determining the human based disease, as we have known, we can find out the disease, the position and the location due to the DNA sequencing. So this is the significance of Dr. Khurana's work. Now come to the conclusion. Here in conclusion, you can write down about the importance of the discoveries, and you can also write down the current development in the field of genetic science. Okay, so Dr. Hargobind Khurana made important contribution, as we can see. With the help of enzyme, using these enzyme, he was able to produce protein, and in her honor, a scholarship was also started. And this genetic science is a revolutionary field, but each and every new invention which is happening in this field is based on the research and development which were did by the Dr. Khurana, which is a very important and significant point in the field of molecular biology. Now go through the model answers. So in answer, we have provided the context behind it, that he was an Indian American scientist and he got the Nobel Prize. And then we have written down about the contribution, like development of genetic codes, deciphering of DNA, RNA codes, and then synthesis of the and DNA sequencing. And then we have written down the significance. It is used for the genome editing, vaccine formation, etc. And then we have provided a conclusion. Now let us discuss about our third question, which is enumerate the contribution of the Indian scientists in the field of space technology. So this is a plain question which is related to the space technology. So what different development happened into the field of space technology, and what contribution Indian scientists have in this space technology field? So we have to write down a different mission of India related to the space technology and how India is continuously evolving in this field. We have to write it down. Okay, so let us start with the introduction. Here in introduction, we are going to write down some information related to ISRO, what role ISRO plays, and what are the different objectives of ISRO is, because we know Indian Space Research Organization is the organization which is working in the field of space technology. So India's pioneer space exploration agency, ISRO, was set up in the year 1969. Its vision is to develop and harness space technology for national development while pursuing different exploration. And India's first satellite was Aryabhatta, which was injected into the in 1975. Now we have Chandrayaan, and now we have Aditya L1. So this is a long journey which we did, where we have evolved continuously, and this technology is multidimensional because it has multiple applications: space technology, medicine, education. Everywhere we are using ISRO based satellites, which is a very important part. So this is introduction, where we have given the role of ISRO and its objective. Now come to the body part. Here in the question specifically, they have asked about the contribution or achievement. We will be writing down achievement of Indian scientists in the field of space technology. So the first one would be Journal Satellite Program. So we started with the Journal program for different purpose. For example, sensing, remote sensing, the telecommunication and navigation also. So the first you can write down about Earth observation satellites. For example, to observe the different kind of phenomena like cyclone, or you can see agriculture, forest related activities. We have some observation satellites. What they do, the purpose of these satellites is to do the observation, and if at all some changes are there, some issues are there, to report them. Okay. The second one would be communication. For example, INSAT and GSAT. These provide communication to do the communication in uninterrupted way. They are providing their contribution. The other one would be Indian Regional Navigation System. It is nothing but providing your position accurately and timing relatively. Launch vehicle. So we have to, to launch our satellites into the space, we require satellite launching vehicle also. So we have different indigenous satellite launch vehicle, for example, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, PSLV, GSLV, Mach-3, etc. So whenever your satellites grow, you need to grow your system of launching also. So we have some of the launch vehicle which are working fine. And one important thing about it, not only we are launching our satellites, now we are launching other countries' satellites also. So we are utilizing this for commercial purpose also, which is a beauty about ISRO. It evolved in such a way, now we are not only doing our thing, but we are trying to do it for the other countries also. Then we can write down about the planetary science and astronomy. So we are trying to explore the science, space science, okay, the celestial bodies available into the space, and deep space missions are also there. So for example, multi-wavelength space observatory, AstroSats, is there to absorb different kind of phenomena happening into the space. Space exploration missions also there. So different missions related to ISRO, such as Chandrayaan, or Mars Observatory Mission MON, or Solar Probe Aditya M1, we are trying to explore different bodies. For example, Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3 were there for moon's exploration. MOM means Mars related mission, which was to understand the Mars in a much more way, to understand Mars surface, mineral and atmosphere there. And we have Aditya L1, which we have seen in our first question, through which we want to understand the different processes happening into the corona and the outermost layer of the sun. And we also are having a plan to launch a human space program, for example Gaganyaan. So these are the different kind of programs through which we can see that our space technology growed in such a way that we can now do multi-purpose tasks through it. Now come to the conclusion part. Here in conclusion, you just write down the importance of the space technology in inclusive development in the field of education, communication, positioning, strategic planning also. It is very much required. So these achievements underscore India's commitment to space exploration, technological innovation, etc. So we require it for resource monitoring. So we have a lot of resources, such as we have forests, and we have our borders also. We have been surrounded by ocean from 3 sides. So we require to do our resource monitoring also for our security and strategic purposes. Also monitoring is required. For disaster responses it is needed, as we have seen. For cyclone monitoring it is required. To forecast the weather it is required. For healthcare also, for example telemedicine, which is being provided with the help of satellite, so that the people living in the remote area can get the benefit of the medicine and advanced educational purposes. Environmental sustainability is also required, to know and watch about the forest, to understand about the forest fire. So these all things related to the inclusive development is required with the help of space technology, and thus it is very important to harness this potential and to evolve into the field of space technology. So that was our holistic conclusion. Let us go through the model answer. In the introduction, we have provided the introduction related to the ISRO and its objective. Then we have written down some of the key achievements, for example, General Satellite Program, space exploration by ISRO. And then in conclusion, we have linked it with the inclusive development of the nation. So that was our conclusion. Thank you very much for our discussion. Have a great day.